This wasn't the first time. 4. This wasn't the first time I had met Bayraktar. I was not even the second or third. We had been having these encounters for ages, for so long that I could no longer pinpoint the precise day when I first saw his ghostly image on the wall of the hammam, in the same space where the ghost of Grandma Zahia appears and disappears. How did we get to know each other all that time ago? Did our souls meet first? Was it because we worked in the same place, at different times in history? Was it the similarity of our lives that brought us together? My dad, imprisoned by the Israeli occupation, and his father, who was imprisoned during the British Mandate. Was it the fact that I had been used to seeing women's bodies since my childhood, and he had been used to seeing men's? Or was it our unusual names? "Where is your name from, Bayraktar?" I asked. "It's a Turkish name. It means the flag bearer. It was a name given to my grandfather. He earned the flag when they were fighting the Turks." "Was he Turkish?" "He was Palestinian," Bayraktar replied. And he started to tell me about his grandfather, who as a young man had been strong and courageous. Like many young Palestinians at the time, he had been conscripted into the ranks of the Ottoman army and was forced to run away from his posting in Libya and the intolerable conditions. Half-starved, he fled and managed to cross Egypt. He reached Palestine in 3 months. 2 days after his arrival, the Ottomans captured him and took him back to the army. He ran away again and again got caught. He was lined up for the same fate as any deserter, the firing squad. But he got there first and shot himself in the foot. "You didn't get drafted if you were injured," Bayraktar explained. "Did he die?" "He wasn't afraid of death. He didn't want to remain a starving subject of a regime that oppressed his people and stole their land. My grandfather, like other Palestinians and Arabs, was a subject with rights. All he received were orders and punishments. But that didn't stop my grandfather. Eventually, he rallied a group of men who insisted on making him their leader. They gave him the nickname Bayrakai as a joke to start with. With time, it became my grandfather's official name, both when he was wanted by the Ottoman Turks for the mutinies against them, and later when he fought against the British when they occupied his country. My grandfather was killed at the end of the Second World War, before seeing his country, Palestine, fall into the hands of another occupier. Some said the Turks killed him, but others said he was killed by the English. Meanwhile, others said that he had choked on the noxious fumes of an occupation that was spreading like a pungent toxin. But whatever it was that finished him off, said Bayraktar, he remained the flag bearer, and he fell before the flag fell. My father went on to carry the same flag, and it got him arrested by the English. He passed it on to me, and I brought it with me to the hammam. Now, I picked up my jug to pour water over the shoulders of men who served the British Army. Stand up to them, Bayraktar, I said. Time is past Philistia. I am from the past, but you are from the present. Bayraktar said this with a touch of sadness in his smile. Then he asked me about my name. My dad chose it, I answered. I spoke in a light, humorous tone, trying to chase away his sadness. It is not named after my grandma, God rest her soul, but after my country. My dad loved Palestine so much that he called me Philistia, after the first people who lived in this land. It is more common for people to name their daughters Palestine, the Arabic spelling of Palestine. You come across quite a lot of girls with the name Palestine, whereas no one has ever heard of the name Philistia, so they can never say it right. Some people call me Phils, as in penny, or they turn that into a feminine name, Philsa. Others get the letters muddled up altogether and shorten it to Saltia or Salavia, as though it meant Celtic or Slavic. People seem to love distorting my name, maybe because they think it sounds foreign, or they tease me by turning it into the name of a vegetable like fasulia. And then they apologize for calling me a green bean, as if I cared enough to get upset about it for the absentees. But wouldn't you be annoyed if you turned into a bean? Or if Palestine turned into a bean? So can a name claim back an occupied country? Asked Bayraktar, gazing into the distance. I turned his face back towards me. A name is a sign that refers to its owner, I said. The person can disappear, but the name continues to exist. Or the name can vanish, but the person still exists. I then asked him a question. If I picked up an axe and chopped something or someone up, would its name be chopped up into little pieces? No, he replied, but it would feel injured and like its pride was wounded. It would get weaker and eventually waste away. May you keep your name forever, said Bayraktar with tenderness in his voice. And may you keep yours, Bayraktar. Or you could share it with your grandchildren. We walked Dash, Bayraktar and I. Nearby were a few trees in their first growth. Taxis were sounding their horns. People walked by. There was a vendor selling popcorn from his wooden cart, and someone else was selling books. He had them heaped up on the ground in front of him and was busy arranging them. Naked bodies are all alike when you close your eyes, said Bayraktar, and block your ears, and open your nose and your sense of touch. Bayraktar comes from the world of Grandma Zahia, I thought. Which is he, a message or a light? Who taught you the secrets of the body? I asked him. It was handed down from my other grandfather to my mother and me. Was he a corpse washer? Yes. He would go from village to village. If someone died, the relatives would say, "Come, O Hajj Suleiman," and he would get on his donkey and set off for that village to attend to the body. Tell me what you learned from him. He taught me that the senses must open their ears to receive the message from the body. Each body's soul has a message which seeks a route to leave the body. If it is not received by the hands of the corpse washer, then it will drift off into thin air, leaving the corpse beneath your hands just as it was laid out. The secrets of the soul manifest themselves understood through the hands. The hands are the eyes of the one who stands over the body, and the body is the mouth of the one who sleeps. What do the eyes do if the mouth is closed? My grandfather Suleiman said that for even a mouth there was a key. And if your hands cannot find it, that means they do not understand its language. How can the hands learn? My grandfather said that with practice, the hands can acquire the keys to the body. Can you inherit them? The keys can be neither passed on nor inherited. They pass of their own volition from one who loves to one who is loved. So the keys are secrets that pass to the people who possess them. Or the people go to the secrets. How did you come to me? In my sleep. Where did you find me? In your sleep. And have we met somewhere else before? In our dreams. We walked Dash Bayraktar and I. I told him that I would see him in my dream if he did not appear in reality. I told him that I went to sleep in order to see him. He said he also looked forward to me going to sleep so he could see me. So I slept and we walked Dash Bayraktar and I. I told him I was afraid of the city, and he told me that he did not know the city, but that I should not be afraid. No one knows anything in this country, I told him. No one has a clue. They are all just sleepwalking. After a pause, I added, Grandma Zahia knew everything. Then I asked him another question. Did people know anything in your day? No one knows anything in your day, and neither did they in mine, Philistia. If they did, they would not have lost their country. He added, perhaps my grandfather Bayraktar died because he tried to find out. The martyrs and the prisoners are trying to make sense of it, I said. After a pause, I finished my thought. But I always thought I knew something, that behind my silence lay my complete knowledge. He who enters the hammam is not the same as he who leaves, he said, quoting the proverb. And yes, the expert, you should know. Fathia also once said this to me as a joke. I guess we never come back from anywhere the same person as we were before we went. There is no complete knowledge, Bayrakia. I have started to realize this. University isn't a place of complete knowledge. University is like a bridge to knowledge. And Safa, Miss Know-It-All, he does not know anything either. Neither does my mom. She never has any answers when I ask her about Dad, like when will he get out of prison? When will the occupation leave him alone? Or whenever my brother Susid asks with his childish innocence, When will Palestine be liberated? She never has any answers. She just says, I do not know. There is no truth that we can ever fully know, darling. And what is truth, Philistia? Something we can believe in at any one time, and that we can hold in our hands like a body that surrenders completely to our touch. And if it does not surrender to our touch, we would make it surrender to us, Bayraktar. I then said something that made me feel like the woman who comes to the hammam every month. You have a funny name, Bayraktar. What could it be? Bayraktar. Barracuda! Bayraktar smiled and asked which one suited him best. I thought for a moment, playing around with his name. Buckaroo, or Baroque Plum. Bayraktar laughed and his teeth flashed bright. He said Barkuk and Fasulia! The plum and the bean. The fruits of two different plant families. Well, you are a fruit and I am a vegetable. I was quick to add, staring unabashedly into his eyes as I spoke. His face seemed bright, radiant. Absent-mindedly, I added, You are a plum I can pluck from the tree with my eyes. And my hands, he asked, taking my hands in his. Your hands are your eyes. I see a reflection of myself in them. He replied in a gentle voice, softer than I had ever heard, softer even than Grandma Zahia's. They are a mirror just like yours. I slept and we walked Dash Bayraktar and I. In my car, I told him I know you well, Bayraktar. Don't cage me on my own. Knowledge is love. But you and I live in two different times, he replied sadly. Our home is in our imagination. Let's plant a garden in our imagination then, I said. A garden of fruit and vegetables, with a plum tree and a beanstalk. The beanstalk will climb up the tree, and the plums and the beans will intertwine as they hang down, so no hand or eye can come between me and you. Bayraktar laughed, and the plum tree was planted in my heart, and from it hung countless ripe Barkug plums wrapped in an embrace with endless green and yellow fasulia beans.